Today's Whippet snippet is all about jumping up at people. Whippets can be a bit prone to jumping up because they're so excited to see people and they seem to just kangaroo onto their back legs and they're really keen to say hello. Very often that jumping up gets people's attention and it gets them access to being close to their face, which is where they want to sniff and lick and get all those scents from. Jumping up can be really frustrating because not everyone wants to be jumped up at, and along with this, other people can tend not to help, as you're saying, don't let my Whippet jump up, and someone's going, oh, don't worry, I love dogs, they're fine, and you're internally thinking that's not fine, that's exactly the opposite of what I'm trying to teach them. So what often happens is we have a dog who jumps up and we tend to accidentally make this really big mistake, and that is creating a huge behaviour chain of them jumping up to get told to get down, to get a treat over and over. Because what often happens is your Whippet will be saying hi to someone, they jump up, we say off or no or whatever it is that you might say, they get their feet on the floor, we might treat them for getting down, or we might ask them for a sit, then we treat them, and then they get straight back up and they do the same thing again. What we often accidentally do is teach them that that is the way to behave, that they should be jumping up at someone to get told to get down, to get a treat, to start the process again. Whereas very often when I work with people, the dog has stood there for a while not jumping up and we just ignore that behaviour. The behaviour we want is actively being ignored. The dog is learning that they keep their feet on the floor, no one does anything. They jump up, it starts this cycle of events where they get a treat. So one of the most important things that we can do with our Whippets is catch them in the act of keeping those feet on the floor for a sustained period of time. So we probably want to use a marker like yes, which tells your Whippet when they have done something good and they will definitely get a treat. Or we could use a clicker that does the same. But what we're going to do is when they are meeting someone and they are keeping those feet on the floor, we are going to yes, and we are going to give them a tasty treat for keeping those feet on the floor. Then we're going to wait 5 to 10 seconds or more, and then we're going to yes and treat them again for keeping their feet on the floor rather than immediately jumping up and going back to that cycle of behaviour. We need to pay the good behaviour of doing the right thing, and that's something we often miss. So we could either treat them to their mouth, or if we really want to encourage that lower down behaviour, we can mark and drop a treat on the floor because it will keep them busy longer, sniffling for the treat, and means they don't just snatch that treat and go and jump up at someone, which some dogs might be inclined to do. So when you're meeting people, try and make sure that you are marking and rewarding them for keeping those feet on the floor. You might need higher value treats around people if your dog is very excited by them, so that they understand that it pays off heavily for keeping those feet on the floor. So make sure we're paying those good choices for not jumping up rather than getting into that cycle of behaviour where they jump up, we tell them to get down, we tell them to do something else, and then we treat them, which just creates jumping up in that cycle of behaviour.